in education, and we try and engage in equity and opportunity for all children. Just a funny story. My first day when I started at Cranebrook at Kingswood Park Public School, I walked into my office and by gee I was nervous, and along comes a president of one of the View clubs. And I looked at this lady, Kay, from the Clean Evening View, and I've gone, oh, what do I do? This wonderful lady who was representing so many View ladies has come in with boxes of stationery. We set up a cupboard in that office. So now our learning club for the school that is now beginning in 2014 is fully resourced. On top of all this, the amount of Learning for Life students that are sponsored by View is phenomenal, and we at the Smith family acknowledge this and we greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. However, today is not about me. Today is about an outstanding young man who's standing right next to me. It's my opinion Trent personifies persistence, humility and compassion. And I've only known Trent for 10 months. And in this time he's never failed to impress me once. He's assisted in advocacy in the community with corporate events and other support for other students. He is an outstanding representative of who our Learning for Life students are. From me, being at Cranebrook in Western Sydney and seeing people like Trent, for me today highlights just one of the many positive aspects that is going to happen in Trent's life. Trent is in for a fantastic, bright future, and I will let him tell you all about that. It's my professional opinion that Trent is going to make a huge difference to the lives of families and students in the years to come. It is with great pride and honour I'm able to present to you one of the students that View supports. Trent Hunter exemplifies our future, and to this effect, would you please join me with a round of applause for Trent Hunter.
Thank you, Rodney. National Vice Presidents Sue Field and Lynn Gerstenberg, distinguished guests, the Honourable Shelley Hancock, Speaker of the Legislative Assembly, the Honourable Prue Goward, Minister for Family and Community Services and Minister for Women, and the Honourable Victor Dominello, Minister for Citizenship and Communities and Minister for Aboriginal Affairs, Dr. Lisa O'Brien, CEO, the Smith family, members of View, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank View and the Smith family for giving me such a great and honourable opportunity to stand before you all here today. Being on the Learning for Life scholarship has enhanced my educational opportunities. For this support through my education, I would like to give my sincere thanks. In saying this, I'd like to acknowledge the partnership that the Smith family and View share. It is their strong partnership and relationships that help students like myself continue to achieve our personal goals. Being at Parliament House is a privilege. It is within these walls where our country and our state has seen immense change over the years. Change for society, change in the hopes for the greater good, and just as importantly, change for equality for all members of society. Today in particular, I acknowledge the change that has occurred for women in our society. If I haven't had the chance to meet with you yet, I am Trent Hunter. When I was thinking about my opportunity to speak today, I found comfort, wisdom, and knowledge in some wonderful quotes from women. American author Joy Bell once said, "The only way that we can live is if we grow. The only way that we can grow is if we change. The only way that we can change is if we learn. The only way that we can learn is if we are exposed. And the only way that we can become exposed is if we throw ourselves out into the open. Do it. Throw yourself. Taking this to heart, I'm throwing myself into the open field of education. My passion in life, ladies and gentlemen, is our children, our youth, and our education. I believe it is the key to promoting equality, positive values, giving direction, hope, and inspiring love and thirst for lifelong learning. Looking back at my childhood, I had many aspirations for what I wanted to do when I grew up. There was a time when I wanted to become a police officer. I wanted to work in the correctional system just like my father. And I laugh at the thought of at one stage wanting to become a professional wrestler. But the one career that stood out in my mind was to be an educator. I knew when I was in primary school that I would become a teacher. This has been my dream. Hence, I am now a full-time student studying a Bachelor of Arts with a Masters of Teaching with the support of the Smith family and VIEW. However, a significant amount of this throwing, dreaming, or working would not be possible without the help of strong women role models. The most significant person in my life is a beautiful woman. She has supported me through thick and thin. She has watched me grow. She has celebrated my successes and seen my failures. She has provided love and guidance. She worked multiple jobs just to keep my siblings and I fed, clothed, and sheltered. This wonderful lady is Michelle, who I call Mum. I'll be forever grateful for my mother's support. I read recently, along with a multitude of others, a quote saying, "It is important to bloom where you are planted. As women, you may not get a choice about where you live, but you can choose what your life is like. Your responsibility is to do the best you can wherever you are." This quote personifies my mother. She was brought up a family in harsh circumstances, much of the time on her own. Not only has she bloomed, but she has allowed all of the children in my family to bloom alongside her. Proudly, she and I call Sydney's West home. I live near Penrith, and this is where I grew up. I see my family a bit like the Brady Bunch. We all have one thing in common. We love each other. All of my siblings hold a special place in my heart. My sister is a prime example of the incredible fortitude and stamina women can display when they have a great female role model. My sister has been and still is achieving great things in her life. She has received a huge promotion in the area of community services. She has an amazing relationship with her fiancé and is very happy with life. I am so proud of her achievements. June Daly Watkins, a name, a face, a personality I am certain you would all be familiar with. The absolute queen of etiquette, manners, and politeness. A strong advocate for those suffering poverty in third world countries, yet a successful woman who has influenced many generations with the ideas on how to present yourself to the world. One of her mottos is, "Every moment you have the opportunity to create that lasting loveliness in your character and personality by the way you think, act, and talk." I read this and thought immediately of my grandmother. I can assure you my grandmother has a soul that reflects this loveliness. My grandmother goes beyond the call of duty for anyone, regardless of their status. I'm sure you all have heard of the terminology wardrobe malfunction, and this has happened to me on numerous occasions. Understandably, I can only imagine my employer would not encourage this deviation from the dress code, nor would June Daly Watkins. My grandmother just had me fixed in no time. She dropped everything just to make sure I was presentable for the world. When reflecting upon my fortune to have such a great woman like her in my life, I've been reminded of the differences between the expectations of women in my generation and older generations. One instance that springs to mind is when my grandmother was simply having one glass of champagne to celebrate the engagement of my brother. When she was offered another glass, she was sternly reminded by my grandfather that she needed to slow down, as she was required to cook dinner later on. He was not being rude, ladies and gentlemen. It just seems to me that this was the social expectation of their era. But thankfully, in today's society, things have changed. If I could share with you my thoughts for my future and for the future of generations to come, I need to work hard and to finish my studies. And whilst this is challenging, the overall reward will be indescribable. I see myself as being a high achiever, but not only do I want to achieve great milestones for personal reasons, I really would like to be in a position in the field of education where I can be a person of influence for all people. I look forward to giving everyone equality, regardless of who they are, whether they are female or male, whether they be rich or poor, and no matter their background. Education is a powerful tool to promote a caring and responsive society. One day, I will run my own school, and then I can really build education that promotes what I described for you today on a solid foundation of compassion, wisdom, and care for staff, students, families, and communities alike. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. These are strong words to which I agree from Nelson Mandela. The Dalai Lama once said, "When educating the minds of our youth, we must not forget to educate their hearts." And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the impact I would like to leave when my time is over. Members of Parliament, members of VIEW, Smith family staff, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me here today and listening to my story. It has been an utmost pleasure and great honour. Thank you.
Thank you, Trent. I'd now like to ask Lyndhurst, National Vice President Lyndhurst to give a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Trent. That was very inspiring to all of us. Women of VIEW like to inspire students, but today, Trent, you have inspired the women of VIEW. And I congratulate you. I wish you well in your future career, and thank you very much for your time. And this is a small gift from the ladies of VIEW.
Thank you.
Ladies, tea and coffee is being served as I speak. The raffle tickets are being screwed up, and the ladies will screwed up, not screwed up, oh, your mother sounds pretty screwed or folded. Everybody has their own way of doing raffle tickets, so, you know, one or the other. The girls will be around again one more time to see if you would like to buy any more tickets. So when you see that Linda and Olga, just pop your hand up if you'd like to buy some more tickets. So just chat amongst yourselves and we'll be drawing the raffle very soon. Thank you.
And you didn't let the bells disturb you either.
No, that was well done.
Leave the bells. Thank you. Straight on through.
No, that was good. There'd be many a person that would have battled with that.
Yeah,
wouldn't they?
completely put off.
Yeah, yes, I'm not going to let this interfere with lunch.
Lovely work.
Thank you. All came from the heart. So.
Oh, mate, they're the best speeches, aren't they? Yeah.
Well, that's it.
You've obviously spent a bit of time researching it and writing it.
Yeah, us right. Been putting the hard yards in.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, it's so good. You deserve the acclamation that you got. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, what year were you in?
Second year.
Okay.